Hey, this is Jim with Dieselgeek, and today we're going to install and adjust the shifter for an Mk250 5-speed. That's a Mk5, Mk6, Mk7 5-speed from 2006 to 2020, 2021, and later. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to install the front to back bracket, and this is the front to back bracket. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide the cable onto the cable end like that, and you want to make sure that it slides easily onto the cable. And you also want to make sure that this little boot is slid back off of the cable to expose all the threads. But this needs to slide smoothly. In order to get a good adjustment, it has to move easily. There is a spreading mechanism built in here, and I have another video showing the spreading mechanism where you take one of these screws out and thread a 6mm screw in that we provide with a thin washer in the gap to spread open the gap. So once you push this on to make sure, then that's fine. There's a keyway mark here on the front to back bracket that I put on there with the Sharpie. And you line this up with the keyway on the input shaft, the selector shaft, and the keyway is right here. It's two joined splines. So it kind of faces in this direction, it basically faces in the direction of the locking pin. And so once you see that, then you can just get that lined up, and once they're lined up, the parts will go on pretty easily like that. And so once that's down, then you can take the black nut that we provide and go ahead and thread it down, finger tight, and then with a 13mm socket, you're going to tighten it. And I'm just using a wrench because the transmission's out, but you just tighten it. Don't go crazy with it because you don't want to shear this stud off. And then once you've gotten that good and tight, then you put it back in neutral, and in neutral, it's free to go up and down. So once the front to back is installed, we're going to install the side to side. So this is the side to side bracket here, and it comes with a shiny clip and the two bushings here. So you're going to take the shiny clip off, you're going to take the two bushings, and you're going to put one bushing in one side of this tube, and you're going to take the other bushing and put it in the other side. So once that's done, you slide the side to side in, and you also want to open the fingers to the cable end, and that's just done by pushing the knurled ring, compressing the spring, and then turning it clockwise to open it up. So once you do that, you can put the pivot pin in the tube with the bushings, and then push it on about halfway, and then rotate it down, engage the cable, and then just move it toward the driver's side of the car until you can slide the slider onto the front to back bracket. And you just slide it on like that, and then you take the shiny metal clip again, and then you slip it on to the pivot pin like that. So the shifter is now installed. So the next step is going to be adjustment. So what we're going to do is we're going to lock the transmission, and to do that, the locking pin for the transmission is right here. So we're going to push down a little bit on the front to back bracket like so until the locking pin rotates in and then goes vertically. It goes straight up, points at 12 noon. And so when it's locked, it'll move just a tiny bit, but it won't move a lot. And that's the home position. So once you've locked it into the home position, you're going to go up into the cabin, and you're going to take the 5mm pin that we provide. You're going to put it down through both holes. This is underneath the shift boot. You're going to put it down through the top hole in the shifter stick, and then down through the white plastic base like so, and that locks the mechanism inside the car. So what this does is it sets the length of the cables to the perfect length, and at that point you can go back into the engine bay, and you're going to adjust the side to side first. So what you're going to do is you're going to push down on the front to back bracket, and that's really important. Push down, and then you're going to rotate the knurled ring until it springs forward. And so the side to side is adjusted. This is the most important adjustment that you make. Everything hinges on getting this right. And if your shifter doesn't go into first easily, then this is the reason why. You need to do it over again. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and adjust the front to back. And on the front to back, you're just going to tighten the 4 screws. So what you're going to do is you're just going to gently go through one by one, and you're just going to get a little bit of swing out of each of the screws with a 4mm or 5/32 socket. And I like using a 1/4" drive because it gives me more control than a 3/8 socket. And what we're going to do is just going to get a little bit of swing at a time on each of these screws. We're not going to try to tighten it all down at one time. So we're just going to get just a little bit. And we're going to work back and forth several times until we get the clamp tightened down onto the cable. And once you get close, you'll feel that it's getting close. It'll start to tell you that, hey, you know, it's about done. And so you just go over them just one at a time. Just make sure that you go back and forth just a couple times to make sure that one hasn't gotten loose. And then once you feel that they're pretty much done, then you're done. Don't keep going, because you don't want to break a screw. So once you've done that, you can unlock the transmission, and that pin is right here. And so you're going to push down and you're going to rotate it counterclockwise, and then the pin comes back out. Don't forget to do this because you'll shear the pin off. So once you've unlocked the transmission, you go back in the car, inside the cabin, and then you remove the 5mm pin, and then you can go ahead and check first and second gear. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then you can check reverse. Make sure reverse gets easily, engages easily, and then just check first, second, third, fourth. And the trick is first and second. So first and second. If first and second is smooth, then you're good to go, and everything is done and you're suggested. And that's it.